Hi, I'm Kathryn Kuitenbrouwer, and I'm going to read to you from my novel, Wait Softly, Brother. The front door swells shut in the spring, and no one ever uses it anyway. Too fancy for the likes of us. So I'm at the old side door, the one through the kitchen. I should have called first. "What's going on?" Mum says. Dad's head pokes out behind her. "Invite her in at least," he says. "Of course." Mum shifts aside. It's all I can do to sputter out that we've argued again, Matthew and I, with the boys all throwing in their 2 cents, making it worse. I couldn't stand it anymore, I say. Her eyes are bright with this information, as if leaving is a possibility she has never considered, as if I have opened up a portal into some grand venture. Then the brightness collapses into an accusatory twinge, her cheeks alive with fear. "So you just left?" Mum says. A whole lifetime unfolds in an eye blink. It can't be all that bad. "Mum," I say, "it's been years of not all that bad. And let me guess, you want to stay here." I nod, chastened, barely in the door, water now heaving out of the sky and glacier cold tears, plenty of them running down my face. I'm calving some horrendous disaster. I can't decide whether my anguish is about the story I can't manufacture about Wulf or the one I can't contain about my marriage. I keep thinking maybe I have picked my marriage apart in pursuing Wulf. It is true that if you start to scratch at the threads of any narrative, you discover it is just another enchantment. You discover there is no such thing as realism, all of it just made up, all of life, all of everything. I'm sobbing by now, bent over on the couch. No one ever talks about how hard it is to start a story over again. "Oh, honey," says Mum, and Dad goes to put the kettle on since words fail him in the primordial way they seem to fail all men. Mum tucks the wool-rich blanket around me and Dad hands me a proper cup of tea. They stand there in a kind of tableau, assessing me, waiting for whatever comes next. Dad eventually says, "You poor bairn," and Mum snickers. The Gaelic always sets her off, since it is not him but rather his own father speaking through him. He cocks his eyebrow at me with some expectation that I will give them reasons, calm their anxiety. "I don't really want to talk about it," I say, and then I dare to say the thing I have been thinking about. I'm trying to make the big deal it is seem like no big deal, to minimize my desire. I'm writing about Wulf. They fold their arms across their chests and nod, mouths arcing to the devil or hell, I do not know which. "There's nothing to say," Mum says. Dad just looks stern because of course she is right. "Maybe you should call Matthew and apologize. 25 years is a long history to leave." "He took a mistress," I say, which is strictly speaking true, but it was some years ago and is only a loose thread in a larger yarn. Something I'm not above using though, since it is shorthand for "not my fault really." They soften a little, but not enough to get me all that far. "Poor bairn," says Mum. She is sarcastic, of course. There's nothing she has not already seen in her long life. She's thinking, what's a mistress in the long view? Mum's eyes flit to Dad with the scrutiny of one who has stayed and conquered, and something, some energy of that or some secret past concusses the room. "You made a promise to Matthew," says Dad. Mum nods. The edifice of marriage, those who've committed to it, who protect it to death do they part, to be buried side by side, I think, as the ultimate goal of life, the measure of a successful union. Dad clears his throat and says, "I'd like to call Matthew. I feel sorry for him." He starts to shuffle toward the stairs to make a private call. "Sorry for him?"